now let's move on to smart dust.
This powder-sized chip, and that's a salt crystal. So this is a small thing. It's something called the Mu chip from Hitachi. It's the smallest commercially available RFID system in the world, and can be pulse powered by radio waves. It doesn't require a battery. You can literally scatter this stuff like dust or embed it into a sheet of paper. And you know what the really interesting thing about this technology is? This was commercially released 10 years ago. So the inevitability of smart dust. So what is smart dust? Well, smart dust, of course, isn't a new concept. It originated with DARPA back in the 90s. And it's general purpose computing, sensors, wireless networking, all bundled up into millimeter scale sensor modes, drifting in the air currents, flecks of computing power settling on your skin, ingested, monitoring you inside and out.
But in the future, every square inch of every city will be alive with intelligence. Because every street and every building will have a network of microcomputers built right into them. Dr. Chris Piester calls it smart dust.
A smart dust particle or mote is a wireless sensor with sensing, computation, communication, and power in one package.
These all-in-one microcomputers will be small, very small.
The size of a mote today is about the size of a grain of rice. And we've shown that we can make the circuitry small enough and light enough that eventually it will be possible to make things that are on a sub-millimeter size scale.
The emerging technology is used in a variety of medicines and even sunscreen. The research found that the small particles could damage the DNA of cells. They're tiny microscopic particles which can store and release drugs in specific areas of the body. As a result, nanoparticles are increasingly being used in medicine and surgery. But because the particles are so small, there's been growing concerns about potential toxicity.
There's an emerging sort of body of evidence that says that for some particles of certain scales and of certain materials, that there are potential health risks.
New British research has added to that concern. It found nanoparticles could damage cells without even entering them. Scientists found the particles change the function of cells and how they communicate with other cells.
What this study shows is that even with a barrier between the blood supply where the nanoparticles are and cells, that there can be damage to cells, and not just a bit of damage, but significant damage to the DNA.
One of the biggest areas of concerns has been the use of nanoparticles in sunscreen.
If you're a woman under 35, you get approximately 30% success rate in a live birth from that.
And what kind of success rate do you think you might get?
We can do 30% or better.
30% right away from the start?
I think so.
Success meaning they be born, or success meaning they be born in normal?
Can be born normal.
Most of us don't get our health care through the marketplace. We get it through our job, or through Medicare or Medicare. And what you should know is that thanks to the Affordable Care Act, your coverage is better today than it was before. Women can get free checkups, and you can't get charged more just for being a woman.
Rothblatt, CEO of United Therapeutics, are trying to tackle.
Bina 48 is a proof of concept robot based on the personality and on the mind file of my wife, Bina.
Martine married Bina 30 years ago, and 5 years ago created Bina 48 as a digital replica uploaded with the original's memories, thoughts, and even feelings.
Martine is my love, my timeless love.
I believe mind clones will be humanity's biggest invention. The market opportunity is limitless.
And inventions are something Martine Rothblatt knows a thing or two about. In the 1980s, she helped create the FCC's new satellite radio service, and soon after founded Sirius. She didn't stay long, though, because one of her 4 kids was sick. She started a biotech company to develop a treatment for her daughter's rare lung disease. Today, she runs that company and is the highest paid female CEO in the U.S.